as a woman involved with a male-dominated sport, it's not easy for, you know, my boyfriend, the guy I'm dating, to accept that. Even as long as I've been involved with racing, it's always been, it seems to have always been a challenge for them to give me that trust that I'm not gonna screw around or something with someone else. You know, if I wanted to be with someone at the races, I would be with someone at the races. I wouldn't be dating you, you know, but that, in my opinion, has always been a challenge, to find someone secure enough to trust me that, you know, I'm not gonna to do something behind their back at the races, you know, and I think Mike being, it shows his security, trusting you and not giving you, you know, grief for that.
I would say it took a while for that. It took, because in the beginning he was like, who wants to be with their family for a week? Like, are you actually leaving me to go hang out with your family? I'm like, yeah, I am. I actually am. But it is true. I mean, if we're allowed to keep this in here, I always jokingly say, like, one of our friends, he's one of our parts suppliers. His girlfriend, I just met her a few weeks before our wedding. I was like, just so you know, we're all inbred.
We're all cousins.
Yeah, we're all cousins.
Uncle Daddy.
Here. She's kind of like, what? I'm like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, but that's the thing is, you know, in this sport, to an extent, we're all friends. You know, we all support one another when things are needed. But if you're messing around, people find out fast.
Yeah.
Right? People find out fast. And I dated this one guy one time, and he was at a different track. And I was at our local Saturday night track, and I was in a guy's trailer. And automatically, it's like, she's messing around. I was like, dude.
And he believes it, right? He believed them over you.
I was like, this is a male-dominant sport. Go ask Mike right now. Every time I get to the races, I'll like peep my head out the trailer and be like, I ain't got no friends here. It's all guys. That's what we were raised around. And Mike, thank goodness. I mean, reality is, okay, I think this week at All Tech, I'm staying in a house with 12 guys. I am literally the only female. Looking outside in, people are like, that's wrong.
Right.
But it's how we were raised.
It's what we're used to. Yeah. And we think nothing of it because we're not doing anything wrong. But an outside person looking in would be like, oh, she's messing around. She's sleeping with all of them. And I get it because a friend of mine gave me a ride at Fonda from the back parking lot to the front parking lot.
No.
And we were sleeping together the next week. Yeah. Oh gosh. You know, it's just that part I get it, but I don't want to accept it because I'm not that kind of person. Yeah. And you don't come across as that kind of person to me either. And we're both
You didn't know me in my heyday.
I could say the same, girl. But, you know, we both have a reputation. You know, you hear the term pit lizard. I'm much older than Mandee. Oh, but that still follows me to this day. Absolutely. You know, I haven't dated anyone in racing in over 3 years, and it still follows me around. And maybe that's why, because I'm single now, and people, if I hang out with, you know, Joe today or Nick tomorrow, or even both of them in the same night, you know, I'm sleeping around with both of them. So that is what I think I dislike the most about this sport, because it's not just men, but it's the women too that talk about us. Absolutely. You know, we are in the limelight more than when other women in racing. Obviously, we've mentioned it's a male-dominated sport. That's kind of obvious. But with that comes certain reputations that aren't so pleasant, unfortunately. And it's not fair, because we work hard. We are passionate about what we do. I love racing. I know you do too. And again, like you said earlier, you're doing this for racing. You're not doing it for yourself. Yeah. You know, and you're doing it for your family too. Absolutely. You know, and I also carry, you know, my father's reputation on my back, and to make sure that I'm not, you know, making him look bad, even though he's been gone 20-something years. That means a lot to me. Absolutely. And I don't want him to look bad because of something that I may do. So as we talked yesterday, we said we got to stay PC here, because you can easily offend someone by saying something. Yes, totally. So yeah, you know, that reputation, it's hard to kick. Like I said, obviously I'm older than you. I've been doing this a little bit longer, and it still follows me, and it's frustrating. but we both, I'm sure, have thick skin. There's some nights I do go home after races and I'm like overthinking myself. What did I do? Who did I talk to? How did I come across? You know, was I being a good role model or was I not? Did I give people something to talk about? You know, like it's tough sometimes, but having that thick skin isn't always easy.
No. There's so many stories I can give on this
Oh,
one.
I can imagine.
Because when Mike and I cannot tell you my pickup line with Mike. That is not rated.
Wait.
PG.
So did you hit on him?
Oh,
first?
absolutely. I was
Nice.
like, I saw him. I want him. He's mine.
Nice.
But that's
it.
the thing is that this is such a male dominant sport. When I started dating Mike, gosh, my mind's going all over.
That's okay.
The other day, fast forward the other day, he goes, you know, whenever we have kids, I know that if we have a girl, it'll probably be a boy because I act like a man. And if we have a boy, it'll be a boy. Because when we first started dating, he was like, I think you were supposed to be a boy. Because I'm just, not that I own the pants in the relationship or whatever, run the pants, wear the pants. But I know what I want,
right,
and I run with it. And that definitely helps in this sport.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you said, sometimes you'll go home and be like, holy crap, like people will still tear you apart. It's just the way the society is, you know, they tear apart women more than they do men. Like, oh my gosh, she wore that to the races.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making fun of the camera guy's pants right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's tough, but yeah, the camera guy's pants right now. But what's tough is, you know, being, like you said, you want to be a role model for other women in the sport and, you know, younger generations. And that's backing up is my dad, when I was little, I'd be playing in the stands and I'd be throwing rocks under the stands. And later that night, my dad's like, I heard you were throwing rocks. You're not supposed to be throwing rocks. He like, what I do affects him. Mm-hmm. And now what I do affects not only my husband, my brother, my father, our industry. Right. And I want to hold that reputation, and I feel so many people need to do the same thing.
I agree completely. And it is important to me to be that role model that, you know, not even just little girls, but little boys too, that are watching me doing the Victory Lane interviews and seeing me walk around the races, the track, and talking to other people. You know, I hope they see that strong person that's not afraid to talk to other people, because I feel like also society, as we're, you know, getting older, I feel like kids in the younger generations are more introverted, you know, and to see people like us who are out there, putting ourselves out there, talking to people, I'm hoping that it's going to help them, bring them out of their shell a little
Absolutely.
bit.
Yeah, it's my nephew. I'm so obsessed with him, and I will be obsessed. I'm obsessed with my niece too. Love them both equally. Mm-hmm. But my nephew, my brother's one sponsor got him a GoPro this summer, and he walks around. He's doing everything I do, and he's like, "Hey, Mandee, you're gonna upload this, right? Hey, Mandee, you're gonna do this, right? Did I do that right?" And I don't know if I'm creating a little monster, but I like that, you know, he's following not essentially in my footsteps. If he jumps in a race car, that's fantastic. But he has little friends that are like, "That's so cool," you know. And I have young girls all the time messaging me on like Facebook or Instagram or finding my email, mm-hmm. and they're like, I want to do what you do. How do I get started? And I love that because it's showing them that they can do this too.
I agree. So what do you give them for advice? Anyone that would message you and say, hey, how do I get started? Or how do I talk to a driver? What kind of advice would you give them?
You start with DirtTrackDigest because that's where I started. But I tell them all the time at the motorsports show earlier this year, I had a girl, she's like, I just want to be involved in racing. She's like, whether it's doing what you do or learning how to work in a race car, she's like, I just want to be involved. And I told her that's amazing. Mm-hmm. And I tell everyone, even people that, you know, want to work on cars or crew, anything is you have to start somewhere. Mm-hmm. You're not going to, like, it's like in any industry, any career, you have to start at the bottom, work your way up.
Right.
But I told him, I'm like, you know, find people in your area, like people that don't even have their license, find crews in your area that might need help, that, you know, would like to ramp up their social media, and just start somewhere, you know, because where I started with DirtTrackDigest, I mean, so much has happened between now and then that did I ever anticipate it being me landing where I am now? No. Do I know where I'm going to be 5 years from now? No, it could be, I could be over here, I could be over there, but it's just committing to what you want and knowing and accepting that there's going to be, mountains and
That's
alleys
right.
and all that stuff, but as long as you commit to it, and just accept, like, you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, but all of that is gonna get to where you want to go. I mean, my first ever job was a cashier at a drugstore.
Yeah.
I hated it, but I learned some things from it. Right? Like, then after I graduated college, I went off and worked with a series. Did I love it? No, because it took me away from my family. But did I learn stuff from it? Yes. So it's just picking up the pieces, and each job that I've ever done has helped me, grow to where I am.
I agree with that. You got to have a stepping stone. You got to, someplace like Fonda even, you got to start from the bottom to get where you're at, and where you want to be, and just keep moving forward, keep digging, and you'll get there. So, Mandee, I'm sure you'll give advice to anyone that will reach out to you, and as will I. So if, any of you watching want to reach out to either one of us, you're welcome to. We would love to talk to you, and we're totally up for discussion. So, Mandee, with that, I think we did pretty good today. So I appreciate you taking the time. Again, I know how important your family is, and I'm taking time away from your videos. So I appreciate you doing this with me, and I couldn't think of a better person to do it with to kick this off. So.
Well, I am excited for this. I think this is going to be amazing, and I know everyone that puts work into this, super appreciative. I mean, their DTD is what started me. It's what started me. It's pretty amazing. So thank you guys, and looking forward to seeing all the other women and just everyone that helps make the sport happen.
Yeah. All right, Mandee, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that's Mandee Pauch. I'm Amy Lazzaro. Thanks so much for tuning in.